Well, hi there. So in this video, we're going to do a little bit of practice with market structures, and we're really going to zoom in on perfect competition here as we do this practice. So my first recommendation would be to actually watch this perfect competition in the short run video by Jacob Clifford. If I can, I'm going to put it in the problem set in the playlist for this YouTube video, and basically just answer these as you go along. Now, the answers for them, I'm going to quickly go through because I know what they are from having just watched the video. But the example that he gives of this would be milk, right? That's a good example of an agricultural product. You have many, many producers, so many that no one of them can really affect the price of milk. And the two traits that Clifford talks about are that the products are identical, and milk produced in that way often is, and that there's many firms producing the product, which we just talked about. And as a result of kind of the fact that there's so many producing the product that none of them can affect the price, we say they're price makers, or sorry, price takers. Price takers, because they just take their price from the market. They say, oh, well, the market price is this much. This is what I have to deal with. The horizontal demand curve for that firm's product then is perfectly elastic. Anything that's a horizontal demand curve would be elastic. And what that means is if they raise the price, everybody shops somebody else. And so if they lose all their customers, but if they lower their price, they just lose money. And then they show you Mr. Darp in that video. What's the most important concept in microeconomics is when we learned last unit. It's where MR equals MC. That's where profit maximization quantity is. And so that's the most important rule in all of microeconomics. That's how much the firms are going to produce. That's how much they should do in order to maximize profit, and that's why they exist. Now, the bottom part of this page, question 6 and question 7, are practice problems, and some of them are kind of derived from Clifford's video a little bit here. Use the graph to answer the following questions. Label PQ, MC, MR, DARP, ATC. All right, so let's get started. This one's MC equals the supply curve. This one's our Mr. DARP, right? MR equals demand equals the price. And so that's the price the firm charges is 10. We would also say this is the ATC that this firm is facing because it's the only other U-shaped curve that's actually on here. And then the quantity that they're going to produce. So we already did the price, and the quantity, though, is down here at quantity 10, and that's where MR equals MC. Now, shade the profit rectangle. So in order to shade a profit rectangle, it's useful to think about like what's the total amount of revenue, the total cost, and subtract that total cost from the total revenue, and you're left with profit. So in the Clifford video, he talks a lot about how you have price times quantity. That's the 10 times 10 that's here. It would be this whole area. That's the amount of total revenue. So 10 times $10 equals $100. And then total cost would be from the ATC at that quantity, which is 6 times 10. So we'd say 10 units times the $6 ATC. So this is the price, that's the quantity. This is the quantity, that's the ATC. And that's going to equal 60. And so just from kind of doing that math, I know that the profit's going to be 40, right? Because 100 minus 60. But the other way that we could find that is if we go from 10 to 6, from the price down to the ATC at the quantity that we're producing at. So we come down, that's actually the profit per unit. And so we could say there's two ways to calculate profit. You've got TR minus TC, and so that's equal to 100 minus 60 equals 40. The other way that we could do it is what's the price minus the ATC times the quantity that we're producing. And that's going to give us the area of this rectangle. And so I'm going to kind of very lightly try to kind of fill that in with my pen. But the area of this rectangle is actually corresponding to profit as well. And so we would say that's the same as saying 10 minus 6 times 10. 10 minus 6 times 10, and that's the same answer, which is 40. The last part, profit per unit, well, that's actually an easier question. That's just the price minus the ATC, and so that's 10 minus 6, that's $4. So per unit, right, we sold 10 units, $40 of profit. We could have actually done the 40 divided by 10 to get that 4 as well. Now let's take a look at the bottom problem. This is a firm in long-run equilibrium, and it's showing us that. It's saying all firms in long-run equilibrium, an example is shown below. And you can see that ATC curve is back where we drew it in the first practice problem set. How much profit do the firms earn? A, B, C, D. So this is just a multiple choice question. Now here, I'm going to relabel, just quick practice, S, ATC, demand, that's the price. That's also the marginal revenue, Mr. DARP. And here, well, our price is equal to our ATC value. And if we were to run through all these numbers and calculate TR and TC, well, TR would be the $5 times the 7 units is $35. But the TC is the $5 of average cost times 7 is equal to $35. So there's actually no profit. They're earning break even or normal profit. Again, that's something that we literally just looked at in the previous video, where we just kind of were talking through that this one is a break even firm. So hopefully that last question wasn't too hard for you. Hopefully you learned something on this one. I'll see you next time.